honored and, just excited as can be to have Dr. Staci back.
Can you move this?
Yeah, sure.
We're too
What's the matter?
close.
Too
Move
close?
it
You want to
out.
move it out? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. So
There.
we can be the same size as Dr.
Thank
Staci.
God.
Anyway, yeah, it's a real pleasure to have Dr. Staci. Dr. Staci is a wonder, like human. She's like a human machine. She's like the generator, the bunny. She just keeps going. I mean, I am absolutely amazed. I've never met anyone like Dr. Staci, but you can text her and she will get back to you. It's just, she is amazing, and she has so many people under her. She has so much responsibility and everything else, and she still manages to spend a little time with us. It's really heart rendering. So we're going to talk about the H2O water machine. We're going to talk about the stem cell activation that we're now allowed. Is that because of that we have physical proof? Why is that?
So we have clinical studies with our X39 and our Cellergize, which is what we are calling our performance cellular system. And using these two in conjunction, we know that X39 elevates GHK and in turn activates stem cells. And we know that with the Cellergize morning formula, we have the cyanothoxin here, the C. buckthorn, that is responsible for improving healthy stem cells, mobility, and keeping them young and youthful. So we use them in combination in this system to really enhance the cellular performance in our body.
I want to say this in a way that doesn't get me in trouble with compliance, but X39 resets your stem cells. It's not a flashy thing. It's not like you take an aspirin and I mean, the big pharma has you with the quick cures that have tremendous side effects. This has no side effects. I have realized, because I've been taking it for 3.5 years, it wasn't like, wow, I'm not napping anymore. Suddenly I just realized, because we don't think about our health, especially good health. When you're sick, you notice it. You notice, oh my gosh, I'm in so much pain. But when you're well and you're getting better, where it's not our natural, it's not in our nature to really notice it. But I noticed first that I wasn't napping, and I used to be like nuts. I used to be desperate. I would knock people over so I could get into bed in the middle of the day. I would climb over the bodies. I was like, I have to nap, man. I'm gone now. But I do not nap anymore. I can walk on one leg. I can stand up on one leg. I can balance now. My balance is a lot better. My stamina, my clarity, everything is better. And recently I realized, and this may seem a little funky because it's not usually talked about in polite society, but I used to have to pee all the time. I've got a few years on me. I'm still young, but I mean, I remember as a teacher, I was like, before, people were like, Weber, we just saw you in the bathroom. I'm like, well, I have another class to teach. And it was like, it clouded my brain. I wasn't able to think about anything else. But I just realized, like, as we're driving past the rest area on our way to Vegas, I'm like, nah, I don't want to stop right now. I'm like, that never would have happened in the past. And that's a huge improvement for a man. To not have to worry about that anymore is huge. So I just want to, and the only thing I can attribute it to is X39. So, I mean, and the other patches. And one other thing, I wasn't going to talk so much, but one other thing is that, Danielle and I, we don't have a lot of extra money, but if I had unlimited funds, and even without having unlimited funds, I would say X39, X49, glutathione, carnosine, SP6, if you can do it. These things are not, for us, they're not an extra thing that we do. And the water machine, of course. But I just want to just to give a shout out that we don't notice when we're healthy, we don't think about our health. But when we're in pain or when we're sick, Eon is the other thing that I totally recommend for inflammation. Oh, that was the other thing. I do not suffer from back pain right now. And I can't even tell you how I don't like to talk about when I'm not feeling good, but for like a year or 2 years, I really had serious lower back pain, and I have nothing like that, and I'm still picking up, like, huge boulders and everything else. I do stuff that I shouldn't be doing, but I do it anyway. You can't stop me, but I'm not in pain anymore. I have to attribute it to X39, which resets your stem cells. It may not be a flashy kind of cure that you're gonna notice overnight, but it's unbelievable. It's really a miraculous technology in my mind.
Mhm. I agree 100%. It's simple. You literally take the patch out, you stick it on your body in the morning when you get up, you leave it on 12 hours, you stay hydrated. Hopefully, you have that X2O. Put your Celergize in the X2O, and you take it off after 12 hours and you throw it away. You get up the next morning, you do the same thing.
Or
And
put
like
it
you
on
said,
your pet. Or put it
oh
on your
yeah, or you can put it on your pet, of course, or your plants. But you stay consistent with this because this is elevating that peptide GHK, and you can go to PubMed and research the benefits of GHK. They're far and wide. But when you activate your stem cells, your own stem cells have the ability to go to work to repair and regenerate whatever's needed in the body. It's not a quick fix. It happens over time because we age over time. Our stem cells become dormant over time. So it takes some time to wake them up. The beautiful thing about using Celergize, which David formulated specifically with the exact amounts of very specific amino acids and electrolytes and vitamins and minerals, they are the precursors that our body needs for the peptides that are being elevated in all the patches. And so when you look at our food supply, we know you talk about chemtrails all the time. You talk about our food supply, the environment, the water. Things are not the way they were when we were younger. We don't get the nutrients that we used to get from our food. And we're probably most of us doing our best, buying organic when we can, healthy, grass-fed, grass-finished, all the things, but we're still not getting all of the nutrients that we used to get. And so what we found with the patches are we were getting about a 96, 97% success rate, meaning from the people using the patch, they were reaching success, whether it was reduction of pain, more, mental clarity, focus, energy, physical energy, faster recovery, better sleep. They were having success. And they had success for almost 7 years of using X39. But last year, David decided, because everybody asks, what nutrients do I need? Where do I buy this? Where do I buy that? And so he said, let me just formulate something with the exact ratio and proportion of every precursor to what I need. For example, with X39, we know we need copper in our body. We know we're copper deficient. Daniella, I see you drinking out of a copper cup a lot.
Yeah.
Not right now, but I do see you a lot on Tuesdays. That's because you know you need copper in your body. I like dark chocolate, so I prefer to get my copper from dark chocolate. I don't like liver, so I don't eat that. But we need copper for X39 to work correctly. That is that GHKCU copper peptide. We need copper. GHK likes to bind to copper in our body. If we're deficient in it, it's not going to work as effectively as possible. There's copper in here, the exact amount we need. Same thing with like X49, you mentioned, Ellie. X49 is the daughter peptide to 39. So it's a mother-daughter combo. They work really well together, but 49 is focused on helping build lean muscle mass, helping to reduce body fat, increase bone density, cardiovascular, neurological benefits. Well, for X49, we need beta-alanine. And beta-alanine comes from animal product. So if you're not someone that's eating animals, meaning you're a vegan or vegetarian, then you're probably extremely deficient in beta-alanine. Same thing with carnosine. You need beta-alanine. It is a peptide that needs that precursor. So you're not going to be getting the best or even results that you could or should be getting if you don't have that in your diet. And then you get into what ratio do I need? Well, how much do I need? I don't know. Do I need to go buy all these pills? Or how much of the food do I need to eat? Same thing when we look at the the other patches like the Eon and the glutathione, those are elevating different peptides. Glutathione, we need NAC. Well, what's the good healthy source of NAC? Where do I get that from? You supplement it. Magnesium, most people are deficient in magnesium, 70+%. Potassium, same thing. Where do I go get this stuff? So that's what David said. Let me formulate the exact amounts, every single one of the nutrients that you need in here. You can put this in your X2O in the morning, or you can put it in regular water. But you'll find when you guys get your machine tomorrow that putting this in the machine, into your, not in the machine, but into the water that you're drinking, the X2O, is going to expedite that delivery of the nutrients that are in here. So people are like, whoa, what did I just have? Like, they drink X2O and they feel that way. They feel energized. They feel refreshed. But when you throw that Cellergize in there, it's like whole nother level. So using these two together, we're calling this our performance enhancement cellular performance system, because we are enhancing the benefits of stem cell activation by using these together. So our stem cells, ours, not a foreign outside donor stem cell, we don't know where it came from, or even not ours that are old. Because I know as we age, our stem cells become dormant. They're tired. They're wore out. So with X39, because you're elevating GHK, resetting genes, you're activating your own. So that means the body knows what to do in a young, youthful, healthy state to repair itself. And so giving you all the vitamins, minerals, nutrients you need foundationally, using the patch as that signal mechanism for the stem cells. And then when we look at X2O, we've been talking about that the last couple of weeks. And I think you've had 3 or 4 people that have actually bought the X2O machine. And I don't know if anybody on here right now, I don't know if Deborah's here or anybody else, but I know you've had several people that have purchased it. Deborah was saying last week she's had huge success with just even brand new, right away in. A lot of people are having vision improvements. I interviewed a man last week that his taste and smell came back with just a glass of X2O.
Right.
So we know we have a lot of that going on out here in the last 6 years, right? With what happened in our pandemic 6 years ago. So we know that these are things that people are experiencing right away. Ringing in the ears, gone in the same day.
Yeah. Too.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what you guys experience from drinking the water when you get that set up tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Now, you use a slightly different phrase. You said this activates your stem cell, or you said something. Is that from compliance that you're now allowed to say that, or?
Yes. So what David found was with unfortunately, the Food and Death Administration here in the U.S. About 3 years ago, they decided that stem cells were a drug. They weren't part of our body. They weren't what we were created from. They were a drug that needed to be regulated. And so, yes, we are FDA cleared. We always have been. They go through our studies every 2 years. They look at our claims, and they decided we could no longer claim that we activate stem cells. And so David has done more studies, more research, and has been trying to find a way to be able to make the true claim that we know that we have on our X39, which is a patented technology. The patent states that we elevate GHK, we reset genes, and we activate stem cells. That is because it's been proven in double-blind placebo controlled, peer-reviewed studies that we are actually activating stem cells. So for the last couple of years, we couldn't say that because of regulations. And so when David created the Cellergize, this Cellergize morning formula, he included cyanothox, sea buckthorn, cyanothox in this. And that is a plant, and it's a nutrient that is used to support healthy stem cell activity and mobility in the body. And so when you combine the two, what he found from research, which is why we won the Stem Cell Innovation of the Year award last year. Stem Cell Innovation of the Year, out of all the companies, all the stem cell, everything that's out there in the whole world, we won Stem Cell Innovation of the Year award because of these two products together. when you're elevating the peptide GHK and activating your own stem cells, when you're improving the stem cell health and motility throughout the body, you have the ability now with this system, 2 products we've had, we're just now calling them the cellular performance system, to make the claim because it's a system that works together. We're working foundationally at the nutrient level in the body, those electrolytes, amino acids, and because again, Cyantox is responsible for improving stem cell health and mobility in the body. And so we are working foundationally at that nutritional level, and then we're adding in our light therapy. And so combining the two, it's just real simple, Ellie and Daniella. I'm using the cellular performance system, which activates my stem cells. So I'm using the cellular performance system, and it's activating my own stem cells. If you're interested in stem cell activation, talk to me about the cellular performance system.
Got it. Got it. So it's cleared now with that organization. And so we can make the claim, and I don't have to worry about compliance coming after me.
Correct.
That's great.
Correct. Yeah, we want to make sure we get the verbiage right?
Yeah. We got to get. Hey, Wade. Yeah, we got to get it right. That's beautiful. So I'll practice it. Danielle will have to coach me. But with the Cellergize and the X39, we can now say that this system. How do you call it? The cellular system activates activates stem cell production. We don't have to say it's like it could be, but it's actually.
It does. Stem cell activation.
Period.
Period.
And I don't have to worry about having to, erase any of my channels or anything like that.
Correct. And of course, we know we can never make any claims to treat or cure anything because, Ellie, everybody is different. Everyone has their own personal experience. And the testimonials we hear, we just got off of a Zoom with David a minute ago, and he said, with this X2O, that's the hard part. The testimonials we're hearing are mind-blowing. It's the same thing with the X39. It's just, wow. So what does the product do? It activates your stem cells. It helps your body to get back into balance. And we share these testimonials. But again, everyone's so different. We can never make any claims to treat or cure anything because, you may have this condition and the products you're using with the Cellergize, X39, X2O, your condition may clear up, but somebody else with the exact same condition may use them and it doesn't clear up. So why is that? Well, we're all different physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, right? We know that we're not the same human beings on the insides. And so we don't know that everybody's going to be cured or healed from their condition or issue. So we would never want to tell them and give them false belief or false information. Plus, from our clinical studies, we don't look at diseases anyway. We look at how are my kidneys functioning? How's my heart functioning? What about my muscles and bones? What about that pain and sleep? How are those things improving? And what have I noticed in my digestive system? Or what have I noticed in my skin? Those are things that we're looking at in our clinical studies. We're not looking at Alzheimer's, dementia, cancer, diabetes, heart disease, those top 5 killers. We're looking at the organs and the systems that are causing or impacting those diagnoses, right? So how can I improve my cardiovascular system? Well, we know X3949. That's a huge proponent to our cardiovascular system. How can I improve my brain? The only brain I have. X39 for sure. Eon, bring that autonomic nervous system into balance. So that's how we're looking at the patches, never as a cure, but always as a way to be able to help the body get into a more healthier state.
Right. So I can't legally say X39 Cellergize combination resets my, produces stem cell production and cures my diabetes. I can't say that,
Correct.
But I can say that it produces stem cells, which is a huge thing because people pay all this money to go get injected with the old stem cells and stuff that have a very short half-life and the like.
Yeah.
But, this is, I think it's just so cutting edge, and I'm so proud. And it was just so the way we fell into this, into contacting you, and the whole system is just it's so in line with like the way things happen for us in sort of a divine, like
Mhm.
it seems like, well, I meet this person, Dr. Staci, and and I remember when I signed up, we were in a big hurry, and it was just like, here's my number, and you were like, yeah, okay, and it didn't work the first time, which is typical of my economic situation. The card bounced, and so she had to call me back, and I was like, yeah, it was between shows or whatever it was, but it was just like a really quick thing, but it's turned into such an amazing foundational part of our lives, and I encourage
Mhm.
everyone to check it out. And I mean, if you can afford an X12 machine, if you can put it on PayPal, if you can get X39, if you can get Eon X49, these patches will, for me, I'm allowed to say for me, right? For
Yeah.
me, they have been transformative. I mean, no back pain, no running to the bathroom every 5 minutes. I
Mhm.
don't have to snooze all the time. I mean, I'm like, I have we're building a house out here, man, and like I'm keeping up with my 40-year-old buddy. I mean, we're like a team in sync. He doesn't say, you're too old for this. He just says, yeah, man. He says, like, you're like 50. And so we just keep it
Mhm.
up. If you want to stay young longer, this is what I do. And it's of course, we have a good diet, we get a lot of sunshine, we get a lot of exercise, but this technology, I think, is the answer to a lot of things. And we're not waiting for the med beds. We're not waiting for XRP to go to the moon so I can, afford more patches. We're just doing it the way it's all evolving. It's a great little business. If you want to get out of your matrix job and start sharing this product with people, that's what we did. I got fired from the Department of Education. I lost my YouTube channel, but we were able to live a life because we share the Lifewave product, which we really stand behind and love with our friends.
Yes, we do. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. Well, join me tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to dive a little further into the X39 Celergize and X2O and share some of the other things that we've learned about this system and be able to help our field, right, our audience. But also tomorrow night, we're going to take that deeper dive into X2O only and hear more testimonials from people drinking the X2O. So we'll have more success stories to share tomorrow night. Same thing at 8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern, go to Dr. Staci,
Mhm.
zoom.com. It's written,
Mhm.
I didn't have it here, but drstacyzoom.com, and you can join at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight and tomorrow night. Amazing, very short and to the point, wonderful. I did not, it was hard for me to be on there because I'm used to rambling, but I did do a testimony there, and it's an amazing group of people. It's an amazing community, and I highly recommend you get involved both as a brand partner, where you can share it with your friends and family who you want them to be as healthy as you. So why
Mhm.
wouldn't you want to share this incredible product with other people?
Absolutely.
And about the water machine, I know you talked to me about helping me get one, and I know you sent out a text to everyone saying that there's more available. Do you know it when that happens, or it just comes out of nowhere?
Yeah, it'll be Thursday at noon Eastern, so 9 Pacific. There will be more machines available on Thursday. They have another drop of 500.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
So if you need to call customer service, or you could go online at that time.
You can go online or you can call customer service. You have to be a brand partner. So
Right.
if they're not a brand partner with you guys yet, they need to call you now to get their account set up as a brand partner. So then that way they'll be available to they can go right online or they can call at noon Eastern on Thursday.
Cool.
Cool.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we'll let you go. We know you're an incredibly busy and successful person. And say hey to Trey and your
Yeah.
husband, and just tell them we're moving and grooving out here in Arizona. And we hope someday you'll come and
Yeah,
visit
we
us.
can meet them,
Hopefully by
yeah.
then we'll have a roof on our house.
Absolutely. I would love that. Definitely. I will. Well, you guys take care and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks
You
so much,
too,
Dr.
same to
Stacy.
you.
All the
All right.
best.
Bye, everyone.